music up. Alright, well, hey everybody, what is going on? This is Ryan Sierra, and today we are playing a new visual novel called Rising Angels Reborn. I'm going to be playing this back-to-back here with Fall Streak these days, and basically this is this is such a fun visual novel. It's a lot more cheery, a lot more upbeat, but it's got its interesting curveballs.
You never feel as much pride as the first time you're given command. An instructor at the academy once told me that.
Okay, hold on. Let me now turn on the song here and not just have some fucking punk rock guy being all like, "We put our lives on the line to eat our own ass." Okay, here we go. Ooh, I like that. What is this little jingle? Okay, hopefully I'm not too quiet from the thing. Anyway. There's something to be said about that. My first command was a listening outpost on some backwater swamp planet that didn't have an official name. I called it my watery hell. My command consisted of myself, 2 automated recording machines, and a virtual intelligence to manage the machines. I was alone during my stint as a lieutenant and a brevet captain. Or is it pronounced brevet, knowing how we have so many, why do we take so many, army role names from, like French, like brigadier? Okay, yeah, put it right behind the M, so that way I think that's a good spot. Okay. Sure, there haven't been very many made since the war for our survival started so many years ago, but still, when I signed up to fight, I thought the Katajian Defense Force would have been smart enough to send me to the front. Nope, I go to watery hell with constant mold problems. They sent my classmates, who were far less capable than I, to the front. Those losers got to command task forces and fight. And, like I predicted, most of them perished with their commands. They were blind fools, idiots. If I would have been there, this war would have been over by now. Instead, innocent people, brave warriors— I know, this person already sounds like a fucking ball of sunshine, don't they? And powerful war machines had to be sacrificed to some dumb tactical officer's battle plans. Not anymore. I've been watching the Loadmaster and her droids moving cargo for a few minutes. I might have to inquire if she knows anything about my welcoming party. As I walk up to her, I catch notice of her short stature and non-regulation issue hat. Great, she's a Hobbin. During my academy and training years, I never saw too many of them. While nimble and dexterous, they aren't what you would call our A-class students. Most of them are as dense as rocks. Even now, she's smiling and waving at me with unprofessional excitement. No bearing, no discipline. Excuse me, but could I ask you a question? Certainly! How can I help you? I glance over her uniform and notice the small insignia that tells me she's a lowly flight officer. Flight officer, sorry. If this is the sort of professional treatment my forces give, I'm going to have a difficult time. Still, she is a member of crew and someone I'm going to have to work with on a day-to-day basis. I can tolerate a little bit of it. I'm Major Natalie Pusile. I'm looking for the bridge. You're almost there! Thank you for your assistance, Flight Officer. I'm glad to help out. If you get lost, I'll be loading soon and can show you around. That's kind, but I should be fine.
Don't worry, Kylie. We're here to show her around.
Waiting at the end of the hall are a pair of majors approaching me. My real welcoming party, I guess. One of them is a handsome, pale-haired frick-on! With large creamy wings, what the hell? And a soft, cheery look on his face. The other man.
You've gotten soft over the years, Natalie.
Maybe I have, but at least I haven't gotten lax with my support. Letting a kid load all of the supplies by herself. I expect better leadership from you.
I always thought you were asleep during the delegation class at the academy.
You're one to talk. I know you slept through the first aid course. I mean, what is first aid other than, like, how to put a band-aid on and how to do CPR? I take it you two know each other? We graduated from the same academy class.
Old friends.
Is Major Hackett smiling? I know, this may be the sign of Armageddon.
I'm just glad that something could warm my wingman's heart. My name is Alphonse Tenzin. You already know Soul.
Major Natalie Pusile reporting. It's a pleasure to meet you. Suck my ass. You're Natalie Pusey reporting for duty. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Flight Officer Kylie Migi. I'm not actually a kid, I'm a Hobbin. It's nice to meet you, Flight Officer Migi.
Yeah, that's not at all anything dangerously close to another famous species.
Though you could stand to listen to Soul about a bout of professionalism, and I could stand to listen to some reading classes. He's right about some things. I'm sorry, ma'am. It's been hard adjusting to military life. Keep at it. Be the best officer you can be. Yes, ma'am.
I can see why you like her, Soul.
Hush, Major Tenzin. We need to get going and let Natalie settle in before Razuna claws her eyes out. You mean Commander Razuna?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to loading the supplies, sir.
Please. Do you see what I have to go through? That's why I'm glad to see you, Natalie.
So I can correct you as well?
Here, let me take your luggage.
Are you sure?
Let's drop these bags off and take a tour of the ship. It's small, but our work is cut out for us. I'd let him. So let Zuri carry all of her luggage without even offering a single shred of help.
Zuri can roundhouse kick me through a wall. She didn't need the help.
Or Kylie. You packed light, as always.
Uniforms and basic healthcare items. I packed just like the deployment list recommended.
Most people don't listen to that. They seem to think we have plenty of space on the ship for things like dumbbells and personal affects.
I was told the list was the official record.
You were told right. The force is growing so slack. Take Kylie, for instance.
Meep!
Meep!
Whoa, 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 whoa. Welcome to the bridge. It isn't much, but it beats being stuck in that tiny Corlett cockpit. You flew fighters?
2 years on the front line with the KSX Xeon.
Sounds exciting.
Now when you get caught up in a major conspiracy, please tell me you aren't planning to overthrow the board of directors while you're working here. My career can't handle another one.
Well, isn't that funny? Guess what game I have for you, Soul? Major Hackett.
We were talking about a pet a friend of mine had. Turned out to be a rabid dog.
Then use the term dog. Remember what I said if I heard you disparage your fellow servicemen again.
I do, ma'am.
And what was that?
Immediate discharge, ma'am.
That is correct. Major Pusey, you will do well to note Major Hackett's lesson. We are a team here on the Nimros. We work as a single unit. I will not tolerate those who cannot act as a team on my ship. That is the one guiding principle that I must make clear. Yes, ma'am. My last experience with a Saito was not a pleasant one. I hope to not repeat it. I bite my lip. Great. She's one of those commanders who have had a bad experience with our organization in the past. Sure, some of us may be a little cutthroat and determined, but we get results. She seems very cutthroat. The stories I've heard from my instructor were brutal. Selling out your command for success was common, not an exception. I don't believe in that mentality. There are limits to how far you can go before you become the monster you're fighting to destroy. Never will I sink that low. You've nothing to fear from me, Commander. Earn my trust, Major Pusey. I want to give it to you, but you need to prove yourself. I will. Damn it. I completely forgot to report in. Ma'am, Major Pusey reporting in. I'm the Special Investigations and Tactics Officer assigned to the KSS Nimros. Welcome to my ship, Major.
She's one of the best tactical officers in the force, ma'am.
I've read the training report, top of your class, correct? Yes, ma'am. How many failed out in your class? Huh? Around 40%. And the average is 20. Why do you think that happened? Lack of dedication. They weren't cut out for the service. And what did you do to help them pass? Everything you could, am I right? We fight and die on a team in this ship, Major. Earn my trust. Yes, Commander. Wow, it's so interesting, because she kind of comes off like a hard-ass, but she's actually all about being sort of like lateral and like equitable and stuff. Because Natalie was the one pulling the whole like bootstraps card, and she kind of grilled her for that. At 10:05, we will be holding an all-call for the ship. You will brief our mission to the entire crew. Until that time, you are off duty. Major Hackett will be your guide. Thank you. You have a quarters decided, Major Hackett?
Yes. I was going to put her in the empty room.
Incorrect. She will be rooming with Captain Moonfollow. Damn, well then what's the fucking point? Mm, mm.
And what will we be doing with the empty room?
Our ship doctor says he is tired of sleeping in the med ward and laid claim to it.
That's slimy. Yes, ma'am.
That's all. Dismissed.
Let's get out of here quickly before she thinks of something else.
Wait, I have questions to ask.
Alright.
Certainly. What are your questions about?
How's the comm link on the ship for gaming? I guess I'll have to pick this one, right? I'm pretty sure this sounds very undedicated, right? Like, I want to know this, but I know that it's a dumb question.
Please tell me a little more about the ship. I read up on the specs of the ship, but the profile suggested... Ooh, we can always go back a lot more easily than we could in pairs, for starters. I noticed that your ship's profile was different than a standard Harper-class command and control ship. You've got a very sharp eye. Yes, the ship was modified in depot. Really?
But not for the better.
Oh? That all depends. Our crew complement has been reduced to the removal of the self-defense weaponry. Wait, we have no defensive lasers or cannons? Correct. So we have no weapons officer or loader. Also, our impulse drive is a KDS E591 instead of the standard E598. As much as I want to bluff understanding that one, lying won't help me here. And what impact does that have on us, ma'am? A larger engineering bay and larger fuel consumption, so our med bay is also removed, but the doctor works out of the secondary research bay instead.
Try not to get sick. He's a lecherous demon who has no ethics or Hippocratic oath.
And what's sad about that is Sol isn't wrong. The clang of metal instead of the mush of dirt is welcoming. Never again will I have to check my hair for spiders after a radar array check. Everything is so clean, so shiny. I did it! I really am back to the real Space Force again. I'm free to serve the universe once more.
So interesting context here. So this game actually has like a bunch of games around it. Like there's like one before it and I think one after it. But this is the only one on Steam, and this was the only one I think I could find on itch.io that was downloadable. I don't know. Might be wrong about that. Let's see. I don't know. You know what? I did change my antivirus specs. Maybe I could download more games off itch.io again, because man, that was a wild time, wild ride.
This ship is a stepping stone. I must keep telling myself that. We stop in front of a door in the aft section of the ship. Sol doesn't seem to be pleased here, so I assume we found the Aux lab.
This song in the background sounds like a fucking Blues Clues jam.
Ooh, ooh, letter. What's in that box? Sol knocks against the door 3 times without a single response. Finally, he resorts to loud bangs before we get a response.
Whoever it is, you know the hours. Doc is not in.
A ship doctor is available at all hours of the day.
Not according to your beloved regulations. Come back tomorrow, but make sure you book an appointment first.
I'm sorry, Natalie, but I'm gonna have to resort to some more desperate measures.
Why are you apologizing? What are you planning? Why are you apologizing? What are you planning?
I wouldn't bother you, Colonel, but our new Saito just arrived, and she really needs to turn in her medical records to you. She was very insistent to meet with you right now.
She? Well, give me a moment. I might be able to break regulations just this once.
Just this once, my butt.
From behind the sliding door, I can hear a mild commotion as whoever this colonel is prepares for our visit. You're pretty disrespectful to a superior officer.
That thing is not my superior in any way. Just casual racism, you know.
The door slides open and a dashing Afric with sharp eyes and dull purple hair that falls to his shoulders steps out.
So remember, this was an Afric, and apparently the angel-looking guy from before, Al was his name, was a Fricon. He looks over to me with a kind, warm smile, nothing like the predator I was expecting from Sol's descriptions. He looks like a demon of yore, but this demeanor doesn't feel satanic. Still, there is something odd radiating from him. Power and confidence, yes, but something feels off. Deep in my gut, a small sliver of ice is forming. Damn, she basically just said, yeah, he looks a little sus, but he doesn't look that sus, but he kind of looks a little sus.
My, our humble ship has been blessed with a radiant beauty. My name is Stan Nelson, ship doctor.
Natalie Pusile, it is a pleasure to meet you.
No, my dear, the pleasure is all mine.
No, 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 no. Sick. Gross. Ew, ew. When the imposter is...
When the imposter is sus. When the imposter is sus.